Welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm Dr. David DeRose. Today, your questions are our concern, our focus. We're going to Matthew and Washington State. He's got a question for us. I'm a pretty healthy person and I eat healthy. Should I be taking vitamins? Well, Matthew, this is a question that often comes up, and the real question about vitamin supplementation is a real one. Let's talk a little bit about it. If you're eating lots of fruits, whole grains, vegetables, nuts, seeds, you're getting a vast array not only of conventional vitamins but also micronutrients and what we call phytochemicals. The more you eat of these foods, generally the healthier the diet. Are there, though, any possible pitfalls, any areas where you could be falling short even with an excellent diet? One that often comes up on the radar screen, and especially relevant for someone living in Washington State, is vitamin D. It seems we were designed to get vitamin D from the sun. The problem is, if you're living above the 35-degree latitude line, some people want to move that higher, at least in the northern hemisphere. We use the same measures in the southern hemisphere, but then we've got some problems in the winter months with getting adequate amounts of vitamin D. Further from the equator than 35 degrees latitude. If you're, say, living in Northern California, that may amount to 3 months in the winter where you can't make adequate vitamin D. As you go up further north, you reach places like Bergen, Norway. It's actually been studied. Fully 6 months out of the year, they cannot make adequate vitamin D. What do you do in this situation? You supplement. Or you go into a tanning bed. You want to get vitamin D exposure either through the sun or the equivalent of sun through what we call UVB light. And if you don't get it, you need to take that in an oral form. Just kind of an interesting sidelight, for many years I lived in the state of Maine. In Maine, I found that the old Mainers had some traditional wisdom as far as how to deal with the winter. They took cod liver oil. Actually, cod liver oil we now know is a rich source of vitamin D. They were supplementing, in other words, with vitamin D without knowing it. You don't need to take cod liver oil today. I know that may not sound very appealing, and I know you may be worried about all the toxins in fish. Vitamin D supplements are readily available. Anything else on the list that commonly may not be included in the diet that you may need to watch for? Another one is vitamin B12. B12, one of the B vitamins, is something that many people get into trouble with. A lot of people say, well, that's a vegetarian problem, Dr. DeRose. I eat plenty of meat, milk, eggs, and cheese, so I don't worry about B12. That is not a guarantee. In fact, if you look at absolute numbers, the largest number of people in America who have B12 deficiency are eating things like milk, meat, eggs, and cheese. And that's because as we get older, we often do not absorb B12 as well. Truly, if you're on a vegan diet, less exposure to B12, but all of us need to be concerned about this vitamin. If you want to know where you stand, you can have a blood level checked. You are able to store this B vitamin for many years. But if you're not getting a reliable source, especially if you are on a vegetarian or vegan diet, we do recommend a B12 supplement on a daily basis. B12 absorbed best if it's chewed or dissolved in the mouth. Keep that in mind as well. B12 and vitamin D, some major concerns. Most of the other things, they take care of themselves when you're on an excellent diet. Of course, there can be individual differences. If you've got personal questions, see a doctor. Have some of those tests checked out on yourself and make sure that you're getting everything that you need. I'm Dr. David DeRose with Ask the Doctor. If you've got questions for us, simply send them to us at ask@lifeandhealth.org.